Yeah, so
Hey SBI Nation, welcome to a new video. I hope you are doing well. In today's video, you'll be coming with me to do a client's makeup. So this was at 5:30 in the morning that I started. You can see my client is quite sleepy. It was really early. But today she was on a bridal party for a wedding, and I was doing a soft glam on her with like long lashes as her request. So we started off. Of course, I did her brows and I did her eyeshadow. Her eyeshadow is very light. It is like a little deep and bronzed outer end or the end, and then in the inner bit was a bit of glitter. Very light, as was a theme for the wedding. Then I went in with the foundation, making sure that her neck matched her face and her body as well. And as you can see with the foundation, all I'm doing is I'm pressing that into the skin. I'm not dragging it, leaving any streaks, but rather pressing it. The technique is very important when it comes to makeup and making sure it is done properly. Right, so once that was done, I went in with some concealer to hide those under eye bags or any discoloration under her eyes, as well as to lighten the under eye area as well. I went back on the tip of the forehead with a little bit and down her nose, as well as on her chin. And then I went in with another brush just to make sure that it's blended properly. As you can see, I'm moving around with the light. I may block you sometimes in the video only because I needed to get in the client's face, you get what I mean? So my positioning is sometimes in front of the camera, but you should be able to follow and just watch this process with me as we go through it and do it. Now once I was finished with the blending of the under eye, I told my client to look up because I needed to now set this concealer. Now setting is different from baking because setting is making sure that whatever I have under the powder that I'm setting with remains in place. So when I set this right now, I am not going to leave the powder on. All I'm doing is pressing the powder out, right, to make sure that my foundation is set in place. I don't want any creasing. I don't want it to shift. I don't want it to start sweating, nothing like that. So that's the purpose of setting, is making sure that whatever I have underneath that powder that I'm using to set is in place and it doesn't shift, it don't move. Then I went in with a bit of darker concealer to do a bit of contouring, bring some depth into her face. And of course I'm gonna also set this with a contour or a bronzing powder. But I also went around the perimeter of her face, as you can see, ensuring that I am giving her face a bit of highlights and low lights and stuff. I then went in with the liquid blush, and with the liquid blush I applied 2 dots because, as I said, this was a light bead, a soft glam, and I didn't want to do too much with the blush, especially because with the blush you don't always know how it's going to turn out on a client. So you can always start lightly, then build it up if you want a fuller coverage or if you want it to be more pronounced. For this one, 2 dots was enough, and then I would have gone in back with the blush, like a powder blush over it. So now I'm just again setting all this into place. This time I'm leaving a bit more powder. I am not necessarily baking. I think this what I'm doing here is in between baking and setting. So I went in with a bit more powder. And then I was also setting her face, all of it now. So all the foundation and the areas that I hadn't set with the powder before, setting that with a translucent powder to make sure that everything is in place before I start, going back over with some other stuff. So this is what I'm doing. I'm using a powder that is in her shade and making sure that everything is set in place. She was waking up, as you can see. It was getting later during the day. This took me probably an hour, or just above an hour, maybe an hour 20 minutes, because yeah, I'll spread this up so you guys won't see every single thing, but of course I had to do the bottom waterline, making sure that was good. I then did her contouring, ensuring that her eyeshadow ran into her contour so that it was a seamless flow. And then of course I went back under the eyes, brightening that up, and making sure that all the things were in a necessary place and it wasn't shifting, it was moving, it was just doing what it's supposed to do, you know. So then we're deciding on eyelashes now, and we spent some time deciding eyelashes, to be fair. I did color all that part because I didn't need to see it, but basically she had this eyelash, these set of lashes, and she really loved them. So, you know, once I tried them on for her, that was just like a little trial to see how they would look and stuff. She said yeah, she loved it. As you can see her smile in the previous clip. But yeah, once that was happening, I then said okay, no problem. So with this, I then applied the glue to her eyelid, and that's a hack if you guys want to be able to apply lashes and you're struggling with applying lashes. That's a hack that I learned, and it has been really helpful. Applying the lash glue onto your lids instead of on the eyelash. You can still apply to the eyelash as well, but when you apply to your lids, it really is helpful in making sure that the eyelash stick to where you want it to go, rather than, you know, just leaving up on the eyelash itself. So yeah, so we applied that, and yeah, her lashes were on, still drying, as you can see. Now we're moving on to the lips, and I did want to kind of tie in everything together. So the browns that I used on her face, the contour, plus the pink that I used on her face with the like liquid blush, I wanted her lips to tie in as well. And I always you know, take the tip that you should always make sure that your face ties back in together. So whatever shade you use on your face, use it all around. And honey, we definitely did set everything with a setting mist, and made sure that it was all good and stuff, and then use a fan to make that all dry down, and then of course applied some highlights. And then we did show her, and this was her reaction.
Yeah, so no, it is. Because I can't do my eyebrows in it. So when I do mine, I just do them. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You like it?
I do.
Okay. No problem. Right.
And this was the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Do subscribe, like, and share. Bye.